Hello, traders. It's Tuesday evening, November 23rd. It's Thanksgiving week. I thought I'd try and get a video out tonight so that you might be able to take advantage of this trade tomorrow, Wednesday, before the volume dries up. Got a couple of economic releases, durable goods, GDP. We have the FOMC minutes. So I think the trading tomorrow is probably going to be pretty dead until the afternoon. We'll see what happens with the FOMC minutes. But I'm not expecting a lot of fireworks off of this. We know that Jerome Powell is going to retain his position as the Fed chairman. I see that as bullish for the market. He's very dovish and he is a known quantity. There's not a lot else going on in the market right now. Pretty light news week. We've got a holiday. That means that the volume is going to get sucked out. So let's start with yesterday's pick, UNP. Before the open, I posted this. Everyone had a chance to get in. This is a stock that I thought had a chance to run. You can see this beautiful compression right here. Today, it really got going. Yesterday, it tried to break out, but then the stock backed off because the market was very, very weak. So let's take a look. Go into that M5 chart. Here you can see stock kind of chopped around, but you can see how it's pressing up near that all-time high. I like it. I think this is a stock that's going to continue to perform well into year end. Let's do a quick overlay of the S&P 500. And you can take a look at it and see the tail end price movement yesterday and go, oh, Pete, this is a horrible pick. Look at the stock selling off. Look what the market did. The bottom fell out of the market yesterday. Today, market down. You can see right on the open, lower. What did this stock do? Moving higher. Let's go into the daily chart. Might be able to see it a little bit easier there. You've got that pullback off of the high in the S&P 500. Stock moving higher. Relative strength, heavy volume. That's what we like to see. Now you can do a bullish put spread, distance yourself from the action on the notion that this compression is going to hold. You would sell that bullish put spread below this horizontal support, keying off of the 237.50 strike price. Sell the 237.50 puts, buy the 235 puts. You're going to have to go out to the December 10th expiration. We got 2.5 points between the strike prices, so we want to get a 50-cent credit for that. I like that trade. It only spans a few weeks, so should be in decent shape. Market bid should be pretty strong heading into year end. So UNP was my pick yesterday. I still like it. Took a day for it to get going. Had to work off some of that market weakness. Speaking of which, let's take a look at what the market's doing. Heading into today, you should have known, if you read my comments, this is a low probability trading environment. It is horrible. So you should be keeping your trading to a minimum. What do you mean it's horrible, Pete? My God, look at this. Year-end strength, Santa Claus rally, we're at the all-time high. What do you mean this is a bad market to trade? This is a light volume rally, compressed trading ranges each day. You can see lots of red candles in here. So the one takeaway that you should have is that you do not need to chase opening rallies. There will be lots of opportunities to buy the stocks that you like. And it's easy to take a look at a chart and you don't really make sense of what it's telling you. But these bars actually mean something. And when I see red bars, it tells me, hey, Pete, you don't have to worry. You're going to have time to buy the stocks that you like. So sit back, have a cup of coffee when you turn on your screen in the morning. Don't rush into anything. Be patient. Your opportunity will come. That's not what a lot of people do. They get FOMO. Market's going to run. Oh my God, the stock I was watching is going to take off. I've got to have some of it right now. So they rush in, and then all of a sudden the air gets let out of the balloon about 15 or 20 minutes after the open, and they have buyer's remorse. That happened yesterday. If I go into the 15-minute chart of the S&P 500, you can see how this was the early spike up, and then the bottom fell out. Well, if you rushed in, you were left holding the bag. And then toward the end of the day, things got really, really bad. Today, market down. Look at that drop from the time I recorded the video yesterday until today. We had a little bit of a rebound. So the market's down big. UNP continuing to charge higher. So, very nice chart. I like it. Think the stock's going to continue to move higher. Let's try and find another stock. Now, if I go into the S&P 5-minute chart, there was another warning sign that you had today. When the market opened, there's your high and there's your low, basically for the first 90 minutes. The rest of the day, the market's trapped in that range. No bueno, no good, no momentum, nothing going on. Well, did we have any streaks today? Did we stack some green candles? Did we stack some red candles? No, not really. Get a little bit of a pullback, pause, and now it's just green and red all over the place. When you see this type of price action, there should be warning signs going off. Do not trade. Do not waste your money. You're going to regret it because what looks like a great move is all of a sudden going to fail. So here you get your downward sloping trend line. Ha ha ha. Here we go. Here we go. Looks like a nice little rebound and then nothing. You come down to the low of the day. Ooh, 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 ooh. This looks really good. Look, look, look. We're going to fall down and then we're going to break that support and then we're going to sell off. Blam. 20-point S&P rally. Oops. It's just chop. It's back and forth. Nobody is doing anything. There's going to be an upward bias from now until year end. I do see a potential speed bump FOMC meeting middle of December. But apart from that, we're probably just going to muddle around, challenge the high, float higher, light volume rallies. Those gains can be very quickly stripped away. So anything that I show you the rest of the year, you should be trading half size because we're not going anywhere. And I'm going to continue to say that until we get a decent market pullback. I don't see one coming into year end, but if by chance we happen to see a 100-point S&P pullback in here somewhere, okay, now I've got a nice entry point for some decent trades. Without that pullback, there's nothing to really trade. Stocks are not moving. Why does the market rally into year end anyway? Well, there are a lot of theories on this. The one that makes the most sense to me is that asset managers are marking their portfolios. They like buying into year end because then their assets under management look great when everybody opens their year end statement. They get paid based on a percentage of assets under management, so the bonuses are bigger. There's no incentive for asset managers to sell, and the fact that this is an anomaly keeps everybody engaged in the market. There's really nothing going on right now to spoil that rally. So I'm not looking for a big drop, but until I see one, I'm going to be relatively passive with my trades. So let's take a look. Let's see what we can find. Use a couple of searches, and let's think intuitively about what the market's doing right now. And just take a step back. We're not talking about moving averages and stochastics and MACD and all this other garbage. What are we looking for? If I had to think about stocks and the type of price movement that I would want right now, well, what would be attractive to me? Well, let's see. We've got a market that's going nowhere. There's really no momentum. Yesterday, we had a pretty decent sized market sell off. Okay. So, any stock that would have been able to weather that storm yesterday and do okay today is probably going to be one that's worth looking at. So let's try and construct a search using those parameters. I'll go into the 15-minute chart just to kind of refresh your memory. Again, big sell-off yesterday. A stock that was able to weather that storm and is moving higher should be pretty decent. Hey, market down almost the entire day. You know what? A stock that finished above yesterday's high, there's the high for the market, a stock that would finish above its prior day high, probably be doing pretty good. Well, UNP would certainly be on a list like that. So we're going to keep this very, very simple. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to be looking for I'll bring up my custom search engine, and let's think about what we want to have in our stock. Option liquidity. I'm going to use a rating of -3 or better. That'll be pretty decent option liquidity. Then I'm going to be looking for a stock that's above the prior day's high. Remember, I told you that not many stocks are going to fit this criteria. If I click scan, you'll see there are quite a few of them, but we're not talking about thousands. We're talking about maybe a couple of hundred stocks. So I'm also going to add ADX, which is a way of measuring trend strength good on a 30-minute basis. So this will basically encompass about 2 days worth of technicals. If I went further out and I marked a bullish ADX on a daily basis, then this is going to bring up stocks that have been really, really strong over the course of the last week. But I'm particularly interested in the last 3 days. Why? Because the market has been soft and the market has been down, and I'm looking for stocks that are bucking the trend. Well, here we go. This is a really easy search to run. They're not 5,000 results that I have to click through. There's just a handful of results in here. So these should be some pretty nice looking stocks. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it off to the side, and then I'm going to bring up the primary screen, and we're going to go into the daily chart. We're going to click through some of these, and we're going to see what types of opportunities we can find. BAC. Let me take that SPY overlay off here. And we'll go into I just want to make sure that it's completely removed so that we're not obscuring the view of the chart. And then we'll get this back up. BAC. This is a really nice looking chart. And now I'm going to be talking about maybe doing a call debit spread. Keep your size small. My gosh, please. Downward sloping trend line. Connecting those two tops. Stock breaks out above that downward sloping trend line. It is bouncing off of a moving average. That's the 50-day moving average. Bullish hammer right in here. Follow through, follow through. Okay, this actually looks pretty decent. I think BAC is going to be a really nice candidate to day trade or very short-term swing trade, meaning maybe an overnight. So let's go on to the next stock. Let's take a look. BTU. I'm not interested in bottom fishing on any of these. I want strength, 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 and momentum upwards. Why? This looks like a nice entry point to me. This is a good company, and I like this one. The problem is you've got heavy selling in here. Who's to say that this little blip higher is not instantly going to be nailed by traders who are looking to get out of the position? So you get this little blip higher, dead cat bounce, and then whoosh, long red candle. There's the next stage of the selling that comes into play. You don't want to be trapped in a situation like this. This stock is heading lower. You need to see double bottom higher low, have some momentum over a period of time before you even try and dabble with a stock like that. CBRE, not bad trying to get through this downward sloping trend line, but look, it's choppy. It's all over the board. There's nothing there for us. DB, choppy, below the major moving averages, no thank you. FLOW, me likey. Look at that relative strength, orange line above zero. Big volume bars here. Recent earnings. This stock really wants to go. You can see how 2 days ago it tried to get going and it got spanked down. Held its own pretty well yesterday. Green bar when the market finished lower. Today, off to the races and through that high. Do not chase this stock. Don't do it. Tomorrow, market opens, watch it. See if it's retaining its relative strength. If it can hold half of this long green candle, that's good. That's a bullish sign. So somewhere around that 84.80 level, if it can hold that, that also would be that opening price right there or fairly close to it. So yeah, we want to see half of these gains retained tomorrow. If the market is pulling back and the stock is treading water or moving higher, that's relative strength. That's what we want to see tomorrow. But we're not going to come in, oh my gosh, market's trading higher, FLOW's trading higher, I got to buy it right now. We're not doing that. If we don't get a market dip tomorrow, so be it. We're not trading. Wait for that compression. Wait for that market dip. The market dip comes in. You watch the stock tick for tick with the S&P 500, and then you know if it's got relative strength. So if you did that today, here's what you would have been doing. You can see how it had news in here. So big volume, and the stock finishing near its high of the day. So I'll find a better example that doesn't have quite this type of spike, but that's a good sign that the stock was able to retain all of those gains. GILD. Okay, we haven't looked at the daily chart yet. Pretty choppy in here. What does this chart tell me? This chart tells me I don't have to rush in and buy it if it's gapping higher tomorrow because it's choppy. I'm going to have opportunities to buy it. Ooh, here we go, bullish flag. Ooh, got to buy it here. And then the stock pulls back. Now, fortunately, this is a strong stock, and it is through the 100-day moving average. It's through a downward sloping trend line here. These are all positives. Big volume in here. Nice relative strength. I like GILD on any kind of little pullback showing relative strength. I think it's a good one. JPM, another bank. So bank stocks we know are doing pretty well. Downward sloping trend line, closed above it today. Not too bad. Hey, look at that. Decent relative strength all day. Now, toward the close, we had a market rally. The stock was just holding on to its gains, which is just fine. It's not relatively weak. It just didn't participate in the late day rally because it had already been moving higher. And you can see that relative strength all day long. So let's put up the SPY overlay so that you can get a real feel for this. There's the market. So we get this little pop and then this big sell-off during the day. This is what you want to look for tomorrow if you're looking at a stock like FLOW. Okay, you get the market pulling back, stock ticking higher. That is what tells you that the stock is strong relative to the market. As soon as the market finds support, there it goes. So I like JPM. Banks don't typically have a lot of implied volatility, so this is one along with BAC where you can consider doing a call debit spread, or you can just buy some in the money calls. They're very liquid, a few pennies between the bid ask, which by the way, when option liquidity is poor and the bid ask spreads are wide, you should favor trading the stock. And right now, in a very slow market environment, the market maker firms intentionally widen out the bid ask spreads. This is not a good environment to be trading options in for day trading or short term swing trading. You really should be favoring the stock. So let's continue to go on. JPM. I like it. I think this is going to be a decent pick. We're through this resistance level, so watch it tomorrow. See if it continues to have some nice relative strength. LUMN. Downward sloping trend line right here. Possible bullish flag forming. Well, let's not waste any time. Let's drop that alert line on a GTC basis. When it's breached to the upside, I'm going to have a nice opportunity to look at. I like it, but not until it gets through that downward sloping trend line. LYB, bottom fisher, no thank you. NCR, choppy, no thank you. No thank you. No thank you. No thank you. And not bad. Got to get through that downward sloping trend line right here, and then it will be a decent candidate. Click GTC. Click that. Click that. That's a nice pattern right in there. Now we're just going to sit and wait for that alert. WFC. There's another bank stock. There's your downward sloping trend line, breach to the upside. That's good. However, the one thing I'll say about this is it's got a weak flagpole. What do you mean? Stock really hasn't run up. When I'm talking about a bullish flag, I like to see something like this, little pullback, downward sloping trend line, then off to the races. This has kind of been floundering around. It's trying to get through this high. So I'm not as crazy about WFC. So out of all the stocks that I showed you, there were a couple that I want you to really put on your list. BAC, I like that one. I like this pattern here. It's got nice orderly price action. That one looks good to me. FLOW, it's got some explosiveness to it. It had some big news today, closed on its high of the day, breached that horizontal resistance. Watch for the relative strength tomorrow. I like that. I like GILD. That also sets up well, but it's a choppy stock. Downward sloping trend line. Get any kind of pullback on GILD, you can consider selling an out of the money bullish put spread below that 100-day moving average. Very, very nice. JPM, that also looked decent. I like BAC a little bit better. Watch JPM as well. And I think those were the stocks that I really liked for tomorrow. Please keep your trading to a minimum. We've got really light volume. The market is just chopping around like it did today. There's not a lot that's going to be going on. We could be dead till the Fed tomorrow. It's only the FOMC minutes, not to be confused with the FOMC statement. We already kind of know what the FOMC officials have in mind. They're talking about tapering. Some are looking to end it in the next quarter. Some are looking to end it by the middle of 2022. Later half of 2022, maybe a rate hike. So all that news, I don't think there's going to be much of anything going on. It's going to be a hurry up and wait situation where you get a little bit of action tomorrow in the first couple of hours and then nothing until the FOMC minutes and then see you later. Time to get ready for the Thanksgiving turkey. So your marching orders are err on the side of caution and try not to trade. Thanks so much, everyone. I don't think I'm going to do a video tomorrow. Have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you Monday. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. I'm Pete Stolzers, and I'm going to keep the trade ideas coming along with lots of education, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and please turn on your notifications so that you never miss another trade. If you like the content, please give it a thumbs up. I've loaded 2 other videos that I think you're really going to enjoy. Stay tuned. We'll see you soon.